Arsenal 3-1 Chelsea. Martin Odegaard scores twice as Gunners keep title bid alive and go back above Man City. Report and free match highlights as Arsenal beat Chelsea 3-1 to go back above Man City at the top of the Premier League. Martin Odegaard scored twice and Gabriel Jesus was also on target in a one-sided first half. Noni Madueke pulled a goal back. Arsenal returned to the top of the Premier League with a 3-1 win over Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium as the abject visitors slumped to a sixth consecutive loss under Frank Lampard. The Gunners came into the game looking to put their 4-1 thrashing by title rivals Manchester City behind them, and they did so in emphatic style in a completely one-sided first half. Martin Odegaard scored the first two goals, twice capitalizing on dismal Chelsea defending to dispatch Granit Xhaka crosses, with Gabriel Jesus then adding the third from close range. Mikel Arteta's side should have been totally out of sight by the time Noni Madueke pulled a goal back for Chelsea midway through the second half, but it proved to be only a consolation for the 12th-placed visitors, whose season continues to plumb new depths. Mikel Arteta's side should have been totally out of sight by the time Noni Madueke pulled a goal back for Chelsea midway through the second half, but it proved to be only a consolation for the 12th-placed visitors, whose season continues to plumb new depths. How Arsenal punished woeful Chelsea. Arsenal's determination to draw a line under the recent dip in form was clear from the outset. The rejuvenated hosts pinning Chelsea back in their own half and piling on near relentless pressure. Lampard's side were indebted to Kepa Arrizabalaga for not falling behind sooner, the goalkeeper saving bravely at the feet of Xhaka in the 5th minute after right-back Cesar Azpilicueta had sold him short with a poor backward header. Azpilicueta's problems were only just beginning, though, with Arsenal soon running riot on that side as Xhaka twice picked out the unmarked Odegaard, who finished with aplomb on each occasion, his first-time efforts leaving Kepa with little chance. Aaron Ramsdale made a full-stretch save from Ben Chilwell in between Odegaard's strikes, but it was Chelsea's first and only chance of a woeful first-half showing and, up at the other end, the punishment soon continued. Arsenal's third goal came from more dire defending as the Blues twice failed to clear their lines following Ben White's right-wing cross, allowing Jesus to fire home his 10th Premier League goal of the season from close range. The home fans were reveling in the occasion at that point, loudly cheering the announcement that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, their former striker, would be replaced by Kai Havertz at the interval following an anonymous first-half performance. Then, when the action got back underway, Arsenal picked up where they left off in the first half, forcing a succession of chances, with Thiago Silva clearing a Gabriel Magalhaes header off the line and Kepa denying Xhaka. Saka and Odegaard. It appeared more Arsenal goals were inevitable, but Madueke's goal, scored after Arsenal switched off defensively, gave the visitors something to cling on to and set up a nervy finale, with the home fans wary of another lead being surrendered. Mykhailo Mudryk provided a few scares with his pace following his introduction, but Arsenal held on, despite a late injury scare to centre-back Gabriel Magalhaes, securing a much-needed victory and showing that, while their London rivals languish in 12th, they may yet push Manchester City right to the end. Arteta, that was more like us again. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta when asked what he enjoyed about the performance by Sky Sports. That we were us. That's what I demanded. I wanted to see that energy, that determination, that fluidity, that movement, that purpose in our play. That was there from the beginning. That led to connecting with our crowd, and obviously you know what happens when we are able to do that. The goals were really helpful because they set the tone for the rest of the game. We wanted to push Chelsea back early on. We knew that if we dominated them and got in the final third, then they were going to have issues. In the last 30 minutes we allowed them to run and, with the players they have, in transition moments you are going to have problems. The performance against City was very different. We had to be much better in many departments, and I think we've done that in the first 60 minutes tonight. In the first 15 minutes of the second half, we should have scored 2 or 3 goals, then the game is over. If you don't do that and start to give the ball away against teams like that, then some doubts appear. Xhaka, we showed we still believe. Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka speaking to Sky Sports. The first 60 minutes we had a very good game. We deserved the 3 points today. We needed a reaction and the team, with the fans, had a good reaction. We had not our best day and Man City was the best team last week. But we still have belief. I try to give advice with my experience. I've had worse times than every player here, that's for sure. I try to help the youngsters to give them motivation. Of course, if you lose 4 games you start to struggle, but this is my job. Odegaard, we used anger to bounce back. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard speaking to Sky Sports. Especially the first half was brilliant. We showed a different spirit to last time. The second half was a bit messy, but we needed this one. Everyone was so hurt after the City game, but we used that anger to bounce back. You can lose games, but we weren't ourselves. I think we showed a different side today. We didn't keep the ball enough in the second half and they went a bit more direct. It was a bit chaotic, but it's a win. We have to keep going. We will fight until the end for the title. Lampard, we were too nice, too passive. Chelsea boss Frank Lampard speaking to Sky Sports. The performance in the first half was nowhere near good enough. Too nice to play against, too passive. Defensively, the line wasn't coming up, which was giving them space. In possession, we weren't playing over their press. All the things that make you a nice team to play against. We did. The second half was better, but the results relatively confirmed by then. Chelsea's been a big success for 20 years domestically and won Champions Leagues, but at the moment we're not in that position. In the time I've been here, it's pretty clear for me to see. If you want to be a nice to play against and play short passes all the time, and at the top of the pitch not have responsibility to hold the ball, then it doesn't matter where you go in the Premier League. Those things are not going to change overnight, but we better get there quickly because we've got another game coming at the weekend. Lampard's woes continue. Opta stats. Frank Lampard has now lost each of his last 10 matches as a manager. He is the first English manager to lose 10 in a row while in charge of a top-flight team since Arthur Cox in February 1988 with Derby. Chelsea have lost 4 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time since March 1998, while only once have they had a longer losing run in the competition than their current 6 games in November 1993. Arsenal have done the Premier League double over Chelsea for a second time in the last 3 campaigns, 2020-21 and 2022-23, which is as many times as they managed it across all seasons between 1998-99 and 2019-20 twice. Martin Odegaard has scored 14 goals in the Premier League this season for Arsenal, the only central midfielder to score more goals in a single campaign in the competition for the Gunners is Cesc Fabregas in 2009-10-15. Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus has now scored in 55 Premier League matches and never ended on the losing side when doing so. W50D5, this is the most times a player has scored in a game in the competition without ever losing, overtaking James Milner, who did so on 54 occasions. What's next? Arsenal's next game is away at Champions League chasing Newcastle, live on Sky Sports this Super Sunday, kickoff 4:30 p.m. The Gunners 2 games after that at home to Brighton on May 14th and away to Nottingham Forest on May 20th are also live on Sky Sports. Mikel Arteta's side host Wolves on the final day of the season on May 28th. Chelsea's attention turns to a trip to Bournemouth this Saturday, kickoff 3 p.m. Frank Lampard's Blues then host Nottingham Forest 7 days later with kickoff at the same time. The West Londoners then face a double trip to Manchester to face City and United, both games live on Sky Sports on May 21st and May 25th respectively, before hosting Newcastle on the final day of the season. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.